Welcome back if you've seen some of our videos to the Layman Seminary. I'm Josh Dulick. Been in and out of pocket for the last couple of months, but so just wanted to kind of give anybody that has been watching these videos an update on a couple different things. First of all, in a previous video we talked about my youngest daughter Molly going into surgery. She has what's called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, and she had her third open heart surgery to kind of correct the issue. It doesn't totally get rid of it in the sense of like chemo can get rid of cancer, but what it can do is it can buy my daughter 20, 30, maybe even 50 years in time. Eventually, the doctors have said she more than likely will need an open heart, have a heart transplant. But we believe in the divine God, Yahweh, that He could sustain her heart until the day she dies. Maybe an old age of 90. I mean, who really knows? But she's doing great. What's amazing, and I think this is really kind of where God has worked. So the Air Force gave me 21 days off from the day of Molly's surgery until the 21 days, and Molly came home on the 21st day. So there was never a time where my wife and I were separated, and I had to be at work and she had to be with Molly down in the hospital. It's always been we've been able to be together as a family. I've been able to take the kids to school with my parents and stuff like that, helping out as well. So I believe that God really stepped up in a big way. Thank you for those of you who've been praying. I believe that you played a huge part in that. There was prayer is huge. It's a way to combat moral evils as well as natural evils. We believe that this is a natural evil that occurs, and God's setting it right. Ultimately, God will set it right when the day that Molly enters into His kingdom eternally and heals her completely. With that, that's my first update. My second update is seminary. I finally started seminary this first semester in seminary, taking 3 different classes: contemporary evangelism, Old Testament survey, and Greek 1, which is why we have been emphasizing Greek. Even in the Old Testament, the Septuagint, which was a translation from the Hebrew of the Old Testament into the Greek, because it gives me more practice, which I desperately need with it, but also it kind of allows us to be able to start teaching it and putting it out into our classes. So some of the things that have helped me, well, first of all, the Old Testament surveys really helped me see how God has always been. The New Testament, a lot of people think the New Testament God is God of love, it's God of grace. But really what the Old Testament surveys really helped me see is that He's been that way from day one with Adam and Eve, all the way up until the 400 years of silence between Jesus and when He last spoke. And it never changed. Just because Jesus showed up doesn't mean that God all of a sudden decided He wanted to be this gracious God. He didn't go from this wrathful God to this gracious God. And it's also shown the importance of teaching the Old Testament in church, not just glossing over it as like, oh, we have all these people examples of great faith. That is kind of what the Old Testament's about, but it's not. That's like focusing in. That's like zooming completely in on one person. But if you pan out and you look at the Old Testament as a whole, it's a whole other ballgame. Contemporary evangelism. One of the things that's helped me is realize we have to be intentional in our evangelism. I never once felt like it's been the pastor's job to be the only person that evangelizes. I don't think it's, or the deacons or church leaders. I've never once felt that. But what I have also never done is taken the responsibility on myself. So I've never essentially thrust it on other people, but I've never really taken full responsibility either. So one of the things I've realized is that I need to be more intentional. I need to learn when people start making comments how I can flip it into a conversation about evangelism. And I can tell a little story, I hope you don't mind. One of my buddies that I work with, we were talking about, we've had a PT change at my work, and I was kind of remarking to him how this work change has influenced his off-duty PT. And he didn't really care for it because on Wednesdays, this CrossFit gym he goes to, on Wednesday nights, the people that own the gym, they go to church. And he was kind of chiding me. He's like, yeah, the religious folk, and I was like, well, why don't you go with him? I was kind of chiding him back, and he said, well, last time they went on this little religious retreat up in the mountains, one of the girls broke her foot. And he said, so that's a sign to me not to participate in their religious activities or go to church. And I said, so you believe in signs and wonders, which is only possible from a omniscient, all-powerful being that is supernatural, that doesn't exist within the natural world. And he kind of laughed, and he's like, leave it to you to flip it into a conversation about God, So I'm learning how to do those things, being able to flip conversations into having meaningful discussions about who God is, who Jesus is, and being able to present the gospel. As far as Greek is concerned, there's been a lot. I went from learning the alphabet to verbs to the second declension nouns, masculine and neuter, to this last week we learned about first declension nouns, which is your feminine and your masculine. There are no neuter nouns in the first declension. Next week we're going to learn about adjectives. Believe it or not, it's going to kind of get into that. And we also learned one of the things how it's been helpful is, let's see here, where can I point this? So, for example, this ha right here. Now, this is an indefinite article. We learned that this last week in the first declension nouns. He really went into it heavily at this point. We were kind of introduced to it with the second declension nouns, but he really went into it this week. So seeing that this is a masculine definite article, so ha un is what it would go with. That is a masculine term, and we've also learned the different types of nouns. So you got your nominative, your genitive, your dative, and your accusative. And so because we know it's the new, we can know that it's accusative, and we can accuse it. Just little tips like that. I hope I'm right. But anyway, if I'm wrong, well then obviously I haven't been learning very well, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. But yeah, so those are just a little update on kind of where I've been, where I've been hanging out with. So I'm going to turn it over to Charlie, and thank you for watching the video.
Thanks, Josh. It's really good how you're sharing, your updates on what you're getting out of it, because so many people call the seminary the cemetery,
Right.
So they need to hear about those things like that. People need to hear that. Let me pray real quick.
Yep.
Father God, as we come to you right now, Lord, we're entering into your word, Lord, and we have a specific task, Lord, to help improve in our Greek reading as it relates to first year level, Lord. So we just ask your help for that, Lord. When we're learning Greek, Lord, your Holy Spirit helps us. We believe that. We believe that anything that we do to your glory or for your purpose while we're in fellowship with you is a spiritual act. So, Lord, we just pray right now that this not be academic, that this be a spiritual act where we can understand. And at the same time, Lord, this is Septuagint Greek, Lord, and a little bit more challenging than the Greek that I learned, Lord. And I even have a book that's a Septuagint reader, and this passage is not in it. Which means, Lord, that there will be some challenges here. There will be some areas where I will not know what is in the text, and Josh will not know what is in the text. But, Lord, you know what's in the text. And so we just ask you guide this process for the benefit of us, Lord, and for the benefit of the hearers out there, Lord. I pray that anyone desires to know Greek, to study Greek, Lord, that they will contact us, Lord, so that we can be able to build in that area. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay. So the prayer kind of pretty much gave the introduction there. Hi, everybody. Josh, we're going to do this a little bit different for sake of time. Sure. All right?
Okay.
What I want you to do is I want you to read the English in the order that it's in. Okay? And we're going to go through the passage. It's going to be Exodus 12, 1 through 13. Yes, it's going to be choppy, but you're still going to understand it. Okay?
Okay. So spoke and so the Lord to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, Month, this is to you the head of months, the first. It is for you among the months of the year. Speak to the whole assembly of the sons of Israel, saying, On the 10th day of month, this, let take each one a sheep according to the households of the fathers, each one a sheep per household. If but only a few are those in the household, so that not they are sufficient for a whole sheep, then he will gather along with himself a neighbor, nearest his, according to the number of persons, each one a portion sufficient for him. Let it be reckoned with respect to the sheep. A sheep unblemished, a male 1 year old, will be for you. From the lambs.
Wrong button. Whoa. That did not supposed to happen that way. What thing happened there, Josh?
I don't know, but it's.
Okay. Well, then we got our first technical difficulty there.
That's okay.
Whoa. How far did we read?
To the sheep. Keep moving back. Keep moving back. Back.
Are we in the right chapter?
I have no idea, dude.
Alright, we lost the chapter. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I will recover. Alright. Wow, it jumped all the way back to chapter 7. Why did it do that?
I don't know.
I must have hit the wrong button in it. Okay. So you said all the way to the sheep, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So let's try it again.
Will be for you from the lambs and from the young kids. You will take it, and then it will be by you. Watch closely until the 14th of the month. This, and then shall slay it all the multitude of the congregation of the sons of Israel towards evening. And then they will take from the blood and place it upon the 2 doorposts and upon the lintel of the house, in which they may eat it, and in them, and they will eat the meat in night. This roasted by fire, along with unleavened bread, with bitter herbs, they will eat it. Not you will eat it raw, nor even boiled in water, but rather roasted by fire. The head with the feet and the entrails, not shall be left behind. Any of it until morning. In bone, no should be crushed from it. But parts left behind from it until morning in the fire you will burn. Thus, and you will eat it, with loins you are girded and your sandals on, feet, and your staffs in hands, and you will eat it with haste. A Passover it is to the Lord. And so I will go among the land of Egypt on night this, and I shall smite every firstborn in the land of Egypt from mankind to the beast, and upon all the gods of the Egyptians I will render judgment. I am the Lord. And so will be the blood for you as a sign upon your houses in which you are dwelling, and I will observe the blood, and I will shelter you, and not will be among you a blow of destruction whenever I strike the land of Egypt, and so will be day.
That's good.
Okay.
I went to 13. Now, if you had your Yoda voice on right here, it would be among you a blow of destruction. I mean, I can't do it, but maybe next time we should try that.
Sure.
The reason I wanted you to do this is because a couple things. You see these numbers right here?
Yes.
1, 2. What that does is it puts it in the right order.
Oh, okay.
So a blow of destruction.
So you'd have to go back to the sentence.
Yeah, you would have to back up.
Okay.
So like you start.
Went way back.
It is a Passover. I'm just giving an example real quick.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of does that for you.
Sure.
But the other thing that I want to see is, this is my observation, but I think it's correct. The Greek doesn't jump around as much in the Old Testament as it does
in the New Testament.
In the New Testament. The reason being is because I believe Hebrew tends to coordinate. It kind of flows things in line and stuff, where Greek tends to subordinate. Okay?
Repeat that.
Hebrew tends to coordinate. Everything is with the ands and all that stuff, and Greek tends to subordinate. In other words, all the subordinate clause, the so that's, and the
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And that's just a general principle. But that's why it kind of makes it easier. You can understand what is being said.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And the other reason I did that is because I wanted you to have a little bit of vocabulary in your mind when we're looking at some of these weird words.
Sure.
Okay? So, now I'm going to switch text. Give me a moment. Alrighty. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the verbs, okay? Then we're going to go back and look at the nouns. So with that said, put the reader back on. Screens. Okay. All right. A pen, that's an aorist tense. Okay?
Oh, we haven't learned that yet.
And simple past. No, you have not learned it yet. Legone, it is a present active participle. Okay? Now, look at the own ending.
We haven't learned participles.
No, you haven't learned participles yet.
Okay.
But you see the own ending? That's not a genitive. So you got to understand that in the participle, this is the indication of the nominative ending. But that's a participle, it's not a noun.
Okay.
What's that?
It's then, so that's I am. But
Okay.
it's
What
the
form?
he, she, it
Yes.
of I am.
So how would you say that? He, she, it is?
Yeah, he, she, it is, yes.
Okay. Now, remember how I told you before about when you have reduplication? When you have a repeating of the letter, that it indicates a perfect? Remember me saying that?
I do remember saying that.
Like telestai, like on the cross?
Okay.
This one is not imperfect. This is an imperative form.
Okay.
So just understand, all grammars and grammarians leak, you know.
Okay.
Now, you see this son ending right here?
The what?
Son ending?
Asan? Osan?
Guess what word that's from? Say it out loud.
Labet Osan. Labet Osan? Labetothin? Labam?
What word do you know from your vocabulary that's similar to that? You translated it wrong. It had two options on your thing. Something about gifts, remember?
Gifts, that'd be Doron, wouldn't it?
No, the verb. To take or to receive? Lambano.
Lambano, okay, yeah.
So this makes me think this is lambano. Let's look. To take, to receive, yes.
It's the aorist verb. Aorist active and perfect. Third person plural.
Right. Well, don't get confused. That's Hebrew right there. It has Hebrew and Greek down there, so just hold on off of that. But I just want you to know that this son ending,
Yeah.
it's for they. Okay? So when you see son, it's for they.
Instead of usi.
Yes. All right. Now, what do you think this is?
Osin.
Yeah.
I am. But it's a different version of I am.
It might be a different version. I actually don't know what it is. But you see the sin ending, which makes you think what?
They, he, she, it is.
No, the they.
Oh, the they?
Yes. Usin.
Oh,
Right.
yes. Yes.
But you look at this right here. This is a long O. If it was usin, it would be OO. So you have a long O with a line at the top, which is probably an indication of what's called contraction related to that. So I just want you to see, it's yellow, so that means it's present tense.
Okay.
Okay? It's present tense something. I think it's subjunctive or whatever.
Okay.
All right? Now this one, the nigh ending,
And I?
that's an infinitive. Okay.
Infinitive. Okay. What is an infinitive?
An infinitive is, remember, the participle is the verbal adjective, and infinitive is the verbal noun. Okay? It can function in various ways. We talked about it before. Whenever you look up a dictionary definition,
Okay.
like murder, they'll say next to it to kill, the to plus something, that's the infinitive form.
Oh, okay.
So this is to be.
Okay.
This ending right here, I'm not sure, but it's highlighted, it's a participle, and it's yellow, which makes me say, okay, well, it must be present tense, all right?
Okay.
You haven't learned the my, sci, tie endings, right? Not yet?
Nope.
Okay, so that's them right there. And then when you see the menon thing, that's an indication of I think it's middle passive participle.
Okay.
What is this?
Okay.
Well, that's weird. It's not highlighted as a present tense, right?
No, it's so fox.
It's fraxusin. I don't know that word.
Susin.
I don't know that word. But what do you know from that word?
Usin.
Yes, usin. And when you see this, what do you think happened here?
Oh, that was it was a plural, and because of the
plural. What do you mean by plural?
I mean future. I meant to say
yes, future.
I meant
the
to say.
sigma. Yes.
The sigma went away because it was next to.
So
I can't remember what it was next to.
So the good thing is you're able to diagnose things. You know, you're able to identify things even when you don't know the vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, what about this one?
This is SFA, but it's
Steph.
It's lem.
Nope. Yeah, don't worry about that part. Just right here, this Steph part.
Steph.
You haven't learned that yet, but it looks like something else.
The ete?
Yes.
It looks like ete, but it's not.
Well, yeah, it's the y'all, so it is similar. Okay, so bunch of this. All right, what do we got here?
We have Thesusin. Yep.
What do you have there? You don't have to know the vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
Tell me what you have.
Well, you have Usin.
Okay.
Usi, so it's they
All right.
in meaning, as far as like talking to them over there.
Okay.
But
anything else?
plural.
You have a sigma.
I mean sigma future, so it's
Yes.
talking about future tense.
Yeah, I think all the browns are future. All right. So.
Well, I don't know about that because you take a look at the.
Which one?
Thaganatai?
Thaganatai?
Or is that
Thaganatai?
No, it's Thaganatai.
Well, it may be. I don't know.
I mean, I see este.
What about this one?
That's
Phagosin.
Phagosin, which is.
What does it sound like at first?
Sounds like a.
The ending.
Oh, it sounds like a usi, but it's
Right.
they, but it, you know.
Well, if it was a usi, the connecting vowel would be an omicron, right?
Mm-hmm. But you can't have.
But it linked into an omega.
Mm-hmm.
That's an indication that this is probably a subjunctive.
Okay.
That's what the subjunctive does. It linked in. So see, oops. Yeah, subjunctive.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else? There's that Steph ending. All right, you should know that one. You don't know the word, but you can know the ending. Just focus on the ending.
Ete, yeah.
Yeah. What's ete?
Y'all.
Right, good.
You all.
You did it the Texas way. All right, good. Okay. So, again, ete.
Mm-hmm.
And what about this one?
That's oxo. Is the ending there? Pataxo.
Uh-huh. You don't have to know the word. Just look at it and tell me what you think's going on.
Well, it looks like it's an omega verb.
Okay.
Because of the omega ending.
So what's this indicate? What is that? What
Present active indicative.
What
so
person? What person?
First person singular.
Good. All right. And what do you think this kasi is indicating?
Future.
Yes, when it combines. Do you see the arrow?
Down there at the bottom, right?
Right. Down here?
Yeah, see the arrow? You don't see it?
Where? Touch it.
You're talking
I'm talking about the mouse arrow. No, the mouse arrow.
Okay, well stop moving because it was over here. See, it's right there. Boom. It's right here.
If anybody wants to donate to our cause, so that we can upgrade some things. But okay, yeah. So you're getting these indicators, and that's very good. And so verse 13.
Estai? Yeah, there's that I am verb.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the but it's the future form.
Right.
Okay. There's what's that?
Este, that's also I am, but it's the it's second person plural.
Right. In Texas?
Y'all.
Good. All right. What about this one?
It's future first person singular.
Good. Very good. Okay. This is present tense, but I don't know what's going on there. Honestly.
What is that? Pio?
Pio, yeah. It sounds like a
Pio.
contracted. I don't know. But so we got some more etes, but okay. So the point is, here you are. How many classes have you had in Greek?
This would be technically, it's my 4th week? 4 weeks?
Okay, yeah, and that's counting Labor Day and all of that.
Yeah.
And here you are, even though you don't know the vocabulary of the words, you're able to look at the ending and look at the changes in the form and be able to know what's going on, right? So that's very good and very important. So we're backing on up. Okay, now I'm going to switch again. So. One moment. You know, those chef shows always win because they got something on the side that they just, bring out while the other stuff's cooking.
I love those shows.
Yeah, your kids do too. I didn't know they liked them so much. One day I was over there and saw them all into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's one good thing in a marriage, you gotta be able to cook.
All right. Oops. I'm not supposed to be giving you answers. So we're going to do this ourselves, right? Sure we are, as soon as I project it. Now we did this last week because I did a recording outside of class. But basically what we're going to do is we've already read the text, right?
Yeah.
We've kind of got an idea of what the verbs are going on. You see the emphasis on the future tense?
Mm-hmm.
All those that were repeated. So we're just going to work one line at a time. And it doesn't matter how far we get, all right?
Okay.
You're in class now. You're in Greek class. So you're going to follow the same procedure that you follow in class. Because I want people to understand, what we're doing.
Roger that.
All right. So what's the first thing you do, Josh?
Well, we want to find the sentence, or at least where it commas, because then we can kind of have an idea of where the clause would be at.
Okay,
right? That's what I like to do. Break
Alright.
it down in the sentence first. But once you have a sentence, we need to find the verb.
All right. So
Okay, so let me see here.
go ahead. Can you see it good enough?
Yeah, I can see it perfect. It's
Okay.
big. It's very big, so we're good. Okay. So we're gonna end with that comma.
Right here.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna stop.
Okay.
at.
And so the sentence
Well-
is right there, right?
Oh, okay. So then I guess maybe it would be after the comma. We'll take a look at all of it.
But
Um,
why do you look for one sentence usually,
well, because that's one point.
or one main
one main point in a sentence.
Yeah, your paragraph or your pericope has usually one main idea,
Mm-hmm.
and then your sentence is your subpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but all right. So now, what's the next thing you look for?
Okay.
And of course, the comma just makes it more manageable.
Sure. Yes. No, absolutely.
Let's look at all that we got to deal with.
Right. I'd like to deal with the comma, but that's
So what are we looking for?
looking for a verb.
Okay. I'll give it to you. Since you don't know the word. A pin?
A pin.
Yes. A pin is, he said.
So is that like a different type of verb.
What is happening here?
It's highlighted.
Okay, alright.
Um,
Yeah, it's an aorist. You
Ah,
haven't learned the aorist
see?
yet. Say,
Trickster.
are there any more verbs?
I didn't see any present active indicative verbs that I know.
Okay, let me look and see if I see any verbs. See a participle. I guess I'll go ahead and highlight the participle.
That's a verb.
Well, a participle can be, it's called a verbal adjective. It can function as a verb or adjective. Or it can stand in place of a noun. Remember that word substantive?
Mm-hmm.
It means it substitutes or stands in place of.
Got you.
Okay. So, what is the purpose of looking for the verbs first?
Well, because sometimes the nominative I know is hidden within the verb.
Okay, that's one reason.
So that's the first reason. But second of all, it kind of gives, the verb describes the action of the clause.
Okay, that's good. Use the word clause. What do you mean by that?
This is the sentence.
So how many clauses do you have if you have two verbs in a sentence?
2.
Okay, good. And so, just like we were saying earlier, you know, the pericope or the paragraph is your main idea. Your sentence is your subpoint. Your verbs would be the points underneath those, you know.
Okay.
And if you preach them, you may change that, and you might bring out the force of the verbs over everything else. But you just think about the layout, the structure,
Right.
from bigger to smaller. Kind of got that going on. Okay. So what's the next thing you do after you find your verbs?
Now we're looking for our nominative nouns,
Okay.
which is the subject of the clause.
Okay.
So we would either be looking for, what's the nominative masculine? I can't remember. Or what's the masculine?
Do you want the answer?
No, just give me. I can't remember the English.
Just remember your.
I remember this.
Remember your word logos.
So well, I mean you have kurios.
Okay.
There's one. But pros, so like.
Cross is a preposition.
Yes, and it doesn't seem because you have Moses and Aaron right after it. But autos, that's self, right? Autos.
Well, this is
utos.
hutos.
Hutos.
This is the word this.
Okay, then no, that wouldn't be it.
It can be. It could be. It could be.
Say what?
It can be.
Hutos.
You
What
know
does it mean again?
this. So, like, this is the Septuagint. See how the this refers, you know, to the subject?
So the Septuagint is the indirect object in the sentence. This is being a
Or it'd be the
verb.
direct object. Yeah.
This being the verb, or is being the verb, but this
See,
is
nominative, singular, masculine, demonstrative.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You haven't learned those yet. That's okay.
Was that like third year Greek?
No, you'll learn it all in first year. Alright.
Okay. Well, we found 2 nominatives.
Okay.
One in each, kind of highlighting each clauses or the verbs.
Alright.
Then we would need to find your accusatives. And if
Alright.
you see a new, you accuse it.
Yeah. You gotta do your rhyme, right? You're gonna mess if you see new, what do? You
Oh.
accuse it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
See a new, what do? You accuse it. So, Moses,
Alright.
which is what is it? Mosain?
Mo-usain.
Mosain. Kai Zan, and you have Ron.
Aaron.
Ron.
Aaron, remember?
Yes, Aaron.
Now, let me mention something. Names are funny. Sometimes they're undeclinable. But it looks like an accusative, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pretend like it's an accusative.
And if it isn't, whatever.
Right. But let me just check.
But it's the indirect object of the sentence.
The indeclinable proper noun, yeah, they got it indeclinable.
Okay.
Noun proper masculine singular. Oh, that's the Hebrew. Okay, so
All right, and then you have human.
what is human?
I don't know what human is.
What it has an indicator in it,
Well,
right?
it's an accusative, is what I'm thinking.
Where?
So it's right there.
No, see that dative? Remember the dative. When you spell out the word dative, it has an I in it.
Oh,
In
okay.
singular, it's going to subscript. but in the plural, it's going to be right there.
Oh,
So I know you saw new and you're like, what do I do? You
Sure.
know? But so now you got to make a rule in your mind and say, okay, if there's an I before the new, then I should question it. Well, you're going to learn this vocabulary word soon, and then it's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
But you haven't learned that word yet. Okay?
Well then, what about mainon at the end of that sentence?
No.
Hold on. Let me highlight this.
Okay.
All right.
Mainon.
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 Okay. I'll go with you and say.
No, just hover over it and look. It's something plural masculine.
Genitive.
Genitive.
Okay.
Because
so
of the own. If you see the own, you own it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yep. So, do I have a pink? Yep. Okay.
So what about ha-un? Ha-un.
Where's that at?
Very beginning of verse 2. So ha, ha-main. Ha-main.
Hamain.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
word is a month.
Oh, is it?
Month and month. Yeah, the same word.
Oh, okay.
So this is a definite article, but because it has that, so it's I think it's saying on the month or on this month or whatever. I'm not totally sure about what that article's doing there exactly.
Okay.
But let's back up. All right. So the rule is that whatever this is going to go with that. So let's go ahead and make this green. All right. Now,
Ain starts at the, that's the.
you mean in?
In, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
In, it starts it's a
It's a preposition.
it's a
Yes.
preposition, it starts a prepositional phrase.
Uh huh.
So, in, gay, I goop to,
Uh huh.
that's your preposition, that's a genitive phrase.
Well, the
Wait,
makes
hold
you
on.
think it's genitive, right?
It kind of does, but I can't remember if
Wait.
N is dated.
What is I goop to? You remember what it is?
We haven't learned that word yet.
What we did last week in here.
Oh, I don't
That's
remember.
Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Now, it may.
I know
be,
gay is earth.
It may. Yes, gay is earth. Yes.
Or land.
And you see the Yoda subscript underneath?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So we know that this is the dative. So let me think. What color do we have left up there? What color do I pick, Josh?
I don't know. I always do accusatives in red because they're guilty, but.
Well, I already messed up. Okay. Red is dative today.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and find out how they classify this. Genitive. Yep.
All right. I thought it was the whole thing.
Well, what's in my mind is a name is indeclinable, and sometimes a proper name is undeclinable, and so that's why it's playing it safe. But
Let's see.
now, you do this whenever you're doing your translation homework, right?
Yes.
Because it makes it a lot easier.
Oh, does it ever?
Yeah, because you've already got your colors, and when you see the endings, you just color it real fast, and then go back through and label it.
Yep.
Let's see here. Okay, we got another word. What about this? What do you think that is?
Oh, it's probably a feminine noun because it's got the A.
Okay. Is it,
It's
what
it
case
doesn't
is
have the
it?
iota subject, so it's not dative.
All right,
Ace
good.
is genitive, so it's got to be nominative singular. Yeah, nominative singular.
Is that what it says? Yep.
It
See, that feels good when you get it right, huh?
does.
All
So
right.
what is altos then? Because you're not going to have two nominatives in the same sentence.
Yeah, you can.
You can. Okay,
Yep.
I understand.
One of them can be called what's called a predicate nominative. But yeah, there's flexibility and stuff going on. That's why there's different kinds of nominative, not just nominative subject.
Gotcha.
All right, so on this month thing, it's a nominative form too. I would not have known that by looking at that. But, like you said in the introduction, the definite article tells you.
Mhm.
So good job, Josh. All right. The way I'm going to remember this word is the first of the month. Got to get my money, man. You know, that's a reference to Bone. Not sure you know about them, but anyway.
Sure no.
All right. Okay, so basically what we got going on here is what, Josh? Let's do some translation if we can.
Well, Kyrios is Lord,
All right.
and I don't recognize your
This
colors.
is said.
It said. So the Lord said.
Here's your accusative.
So pos. Now,
To.
yes, that's what I was going to say, because we've learned the thes, but we haven't learned tos yet.
Yeah.
So to Moses and Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
see now it says, so in is in or in but.
In, just go with in.
Okay, so in, well see, gay is the land.
Uh-huh.
So in the land of Egypt.
Right. Now the is implied because this is a proper noun.
Yes.
Okay.
So in the land of Egypt.
Legon,
Legon.
this is that redundant
Lego,
participle. No, that's echo.
Lego.
Saying.
Saying.
Lego means I speak or say.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So legon is saying.
Saying.
So this is introducing what is being said.
Yes.
Okay?
So autos means this, so
Yes.
the month.
So this month.
This month, Amy, or yeah, Amy, humming.
Now do you see any
Humming.
verb right there?
Mm-mm.
Alright, so let's put one in. This month is, here's your indirect object, to you, the first or the beginning. The word arche, in the beginning, arche means
Oh, that's
beginning,
right. Yeah, because
chief
it's used
ruler.
in first. It's used in John 1.
So
in
you see,
arche.
do you see why we did that? We put that in there, okay? And so this would be a predicate nominative because it's on the other side of the verb,
Okay.
which is implied right there. So the first, so let me see if we get this. This month is to you the beginning month, but it's a genitive, so it's kind of weird, ain't it?
Beginning of the month. Or could.
Well, yeah,
could that be
it may be like that. Yeah.
Beginning of the year, though. This month being is whom is
Is it year?
Is
No,
main-
it's month.
main
Genitive plural.
months.
Beginning
So it's
of the months. All right.
So that's implied that it's year because when you talk about all the months of a year, right? Could it be that
Well, we're talking about a festival issue, a festival month.
it's
So
noun, common, singular, absolute? That's for
yeah.
Hebrew.
So I would say
Nominative,
this
singular,
month
masculine.
is to you the beginning months.
Right.
In other words, this is when the season starts for the sacrifices and stuff. You know, that seems to be the indication here. Okay? So you're happy with that sentence?
I am. Well, we're happy with that comma up to the comma, but we're not done with the sentence.
You're right. But it is a sentence though, right?
In essence, yes.
Because you have a verb. In Greek, it's a sentence.
Correct.
This is just broken down, according to the Septuagint. So yeah. So we actually have two sentences here. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, saying, so there's that. And then here's the second one. This month is to you the beginning of months. Okay?
And then you have pros estin.
Yeah, read it out loud. I'm glad you're doing that.
Pros estin.
That's protos.
Protos estin humen. Humen. Yeah. And tuis. Mesin to ani auto. Ani, yeah. And hey, no, it's eniato.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you take Spanish, as Josh did, you got a way better Greek accent than mine. That I don't even know how to accent things. So, that's good, Josh.
So,
What does
again,
protos sound like? Think of your English words.
prototype.
Yeah, which means first type, right?
Right.
So this is probably first. That's my guess.
Well, so we're looking for verbs again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I jumped. I wanted you to get that one. Okay. So
Let's see
where's your
here.
verb?
Well, it's estin because it's the I am verb.
Okay, good. Okay, how we doing on time?
It's 10:30.
All right, we're good.
Then we're looking for our nominative.
Okay.
And
General rule, I'm not saying it always works, but try to look around the verb.
human.
No. What's a nominative look like?
That's a dative anyways because of the I.
Right. So, since you already identified that,
Os. So protos.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Nominative singular masculine.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
En tuis mesin. En tois mesin. That's a genitive.
Nope.
And is that a key? Is en?
Follow your rules.
Well, tois.
Toys. What's the
Is
indication?
the, but it's I can't remember.
What you got an I. You got an I. What is
Okay,
it?
so it's dative.
Good.
So then it would be en tois.
Let me tell you a rule. All right. In takes the dative. Remember that.
Okay, in takes the data. See, you could have helped me out last night by saying that last night. So it's the whole prepositional phrase all the way down to mesin.
Okay. And dative is bread.
And then you have two and niatu. No, and a niautu. That is genitive.
Okay. Good. And so that would be pink. Okay. Do you know what? We don't know what this word is.
Nope. But it's
It looks like a mixture of an infinitive.
it's a
But,
genitive singular masculine.
okay, it means a long period of time, a cycle. Okay.
Okay.
So go back to here, and let's see what we got.
So protos is the noun of the sentence, but I don't know what it means. So
Nominative. Protos means first.
So-
Probably. Can you say it first?
First is
Humin means to you.
so first is to you.
Yeah, I don't know why I got an orange here and red. Anyway, that's an accident. But you're gonna learn the pronouns later on, the plural. And so what you have hemace, well this would be an eta,
Mm,
and then you have humace. The amace ones, those are the we's. Okay? The umace are the yous, the us's.
so
Okay.
umen.
Humin is to us.
So first is to us the.
I don't know what mason is.
Neither do I.
Okay. That's month again. That word just flips. You know?
No, I guess it does because it's months. It's plural.
Okay.
So if you take a look at it, I mean they put the sin at the end of it. So main. So the first. This is to us the first month.
But it's not a verb. So the sin,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there actually.
And then of months,
Of cycles.
of cycles.
So first is to you in all of the months. Now in
In-
context, this is probably first in the sense of importance. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, remember, because this is to you the beginning of the months. Actually, I said to us earlier, this is to you, sorry. This is to you the beginning of the months. First in importance is to you in the cycle of months. Okay?
Yep.
Um,
So we know right then and there, I mean, just general principle that the Passover month is super important,
yes.
which, not trying to go too far outside here, but that's why when Jesus died over the Passover, he died at the very beginning of the year, because he died over the Passover meal.
Yeah. It was
So-
their new year.
It was their new year. Think about that for a second.
Happy New Year! They celebrate their New Year a lot different than us, huh?
Right, but just
Yeah.
think about that for just a second. This just like totally just clicked as because this goes back to the Old Testament survey that we've been in, right? And how when you learn stuff in the New Testament, how it ties in to the New Testament. It's not a separate entity here, and so you can see, wow, Jesus, how God planned it all out. You're going to die at the beginning of the year. You're going to kick off this year right.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, just how cool that is.
Well, he raised on the first day of the week.
The beginning of the new year.
New year and new day.
New year, new day.
That preaches.
new covenant. New.
But I will say this, and that there's some issues about the Day of Atonement when it's celebrated in the feasts and stuff. How things were structured originally in Exodus, I think they changed a little bit later on in history.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we're gonna take that as the day. This is Passover, not Day of Atonement, because you have what's called Rosh Hashanah, which is actually, if I remember right, the New Year. So this is.
So this might be the new, maybe not the new year, but like you said, the beginning of.
We're
the
messing
feast.
up the feast.
We could be.
This is probably the first feast that was ever given to Israel. Is probably what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I can't remember the feast order right now,
Sure.
but yeah.
But I still think it's cool.
First in importance, yeah. Absolutely. Christ is our Passover. Okay, so next line.
All right. So let's see here. Okay, we got 10 more minutes. So this is la leson, pasan, son, go. Oh, this is synagogue, so synagogue there.
Mm-hmm.
Huion,
Mm-hmm.
Israel, Legon, Te. Is that an N in the middle of that sentence? I can't.
Where? Right
It's
here?
D-E.
K.
Oh, it's a K. Okay, so decate to menos
Uh-huh.
to la bet usan ekastos prob aton cat oikos petrion.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't go any. Well, you can go further. It's just right here.
Okay, yeah. So ekastos probaton cat oikion. So oik, I know is houses. So this, sorry, I'm just gonna sit here. Houses.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what those are already. But all right, so we got to divide it up. We got to find the verbs.
Okay.
Let's look here.
I gave you this one earlier. That's that imperative.
Okay.
Remember I was explaining it has reduplication, but it's...
Mhm.
All right. So you see any other verbs?
Let's see here. Goes to you. Because beyond no, it's not plantos. No, I don't see any, dude. Not that I recognize. There's probably some. I'm just not aware
Okay,
of.
here's the participle.
Okay.
And a participle is a verbal, but it's still good to highlight. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one right here. That's a Lambano word, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't learned any of the Arabs yet, so.
All right. Next.
All right. Well, let's look for those nominatives. So Israel, is that a nominative noun, or is that just a
Well, it's a
analogy?
proper name.
It's a proper
I mean,
noun.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, I
It
would...
is a proper noun. It's probably not indeclinable. You want to hover
Not
over
indeclinable.
it? Indeclinable. You want to hover over it and see? Just kidding.
Sure, but You have all this
Yep,
before that.
it's indeclinable, so we're right.
Okay.
Alrighty, so let's see here. So it appears to me as if,
And if you've seen this word before, if we've done the word in the immediate context, then use what you got here, you know?
no, I hear you, but pros was,
What is pros up here?
I can't
What
remember the
case?
colors. I don't recognize.
Okay, when you see a new, what do you do?
Okay, so you keep
Accusative. Alright?
okay.
Pros means to or towards.
Alright, so yeah, so we know that that's not it. Synagogen, I don't think, no. Because it's got the A ending,
Okay?
and that's not,
So what's that indicate when it has a the
that's accusative,
okay, good.
feminine.
Alright.
So is the on. I mean, the on
Good.
is accusative.
This word
but
right
it's
here,
it's feminine.
Have you learned
It's the-
pos yet? Pos means each, every, all. So pasan, I think this is that word right there. So, okay.
It says all, the whole, everything, yeah.
Cheater.
You
Keep
know.
going. Sorry.
So then you have huion,
What is that?
house.
No. Say it out loud.
Oh, it's genitive.
Yeah, but get the word right.
Huion.
What is weon? What is weos?
Huios is houses.
Nope. Oikos
Oh, that's
is
oikos.
house.
Huios, hour.
Sun.
Sun. Suns.
Imagine.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
right.
Think of a wee son. You're Latin, right? I mean, you're Scottish. We alls. You know, that sounded horrible. That sounded.
Don't do that. While I'm drinking, I almost choked.
That went from a wee lad to Scrooge McDuck to yeehaw.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, darn near died.
But we us.
So sons.
Yeah.
And that's plural, right? Sons.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Keep going.
Israel's a proper noun. Then you have te, decate, which is the iota subscript.
What's decade sound like?
Decade.
Decade, 10, yeah. So there's got the data going. Okay. Next.
To menos. That sounds nominative to me.
Okay. Another
False.
option, but what's the article tell you?
To,
Yeah.
I think it's genitive because it's all two in plural.
Right, 2. So, but, ooh, a genitive.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh! It's genitive. I gotta turn everything into girls because then I can relate.
Yeah. Because you're not gender neutral. Alright. And I guess I'm stereotyping too, because I'm making it pink. Anyway. Keep going.
So ekatos, that's nominative.
Looks like it.
It looks like it, but the os ending.
We're gonna assume it's nominative. What's the word mean? Look down at the bottom.
It means
I can't remember. That's
every, each, every.
Alright. So that's actually an adjective. Okay.
Okay. And then we have probonaton. On
Probaton.
probaton.
That's sheep, I think.
Yep, you're right. Flock.
So when you're on probation, you're a sheep.
You are. You're defenseless.
Dumb as a sheep. No, that's probably not where the word came from. But anyway, what do you know about probaton?
What do I know about the on?
Mm-hmm.
As far as the ending?
Yeah.
It's masculine and it's accusative.
Good. Okay. Next.
Well, cat seems to be like Kai, but
That's kata. That's a
that's right,
preposition.
because of the little apostrophe there at the end.
Yeah, because you have a vowel there.
Because you have a vowel there.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
So oikos is houses.
But what kind of house? What? Look, read it
It's-
exactly.
Hoikos.
No.
No, it is oikos.
Oikos.
Oikos,
So what is that?
plural,
Okay. What is it though?
genitive.
No. Oos. Not oo. Oos. Accusative. Okay?
Accusative. Okay, so it's accusative.
Yes.
Plural accusative.
Okay?
And then patrion. Leon.
This could be tricky.
I don't know this one.
It looks like a genitive, right?
Yeah.
It is a genitive. And it means Patreon. Like Patreon, belonging to one's father.
Patriarch.
Yeah, Patreon. Yeah, or even the word Patreon. So it is genitive. All right. So we got this little thing here, just for time.
Yeah, because we are 10:45.
Okay, Probaton is. Josh, start translating while I'm doing this.
Well, that's ekastos. Probatons, there's sheep again, and then there's houses, but in the nominative.
I mean,
or the
start
accusative.
here and start translating.
Dude, I don't know these words. Sorry, no offense,
Okay,
but I'm not very
This
good
is speak. That's the command. Speak to all. What's synagogue?
at congregation. It's synagogue, but it could mean
Okay.
congregation
Speak to the congregation.
of Israel,
What kind of Israel?
house of Israel,
What is that word?
sons of Israel.
Sons of Israel. All right. Sons of Israel. What is that word? Lege. Lagon.
Speaking,
Saying.
saying,
Decade.
decade.
What's it sound like
10.
in English? Yeah. The 10. All right. This is your word month again.
The 10th month
The 10 of the
months.
10th of this month.
of these months.
This month's. Yeah.
Okay.
This month. The 10th of this month. Okay.
Take a sheep.
Good. That's the command form imperative. Did you cheat or did you?
No, I was a guess. It was a good guess, but it,
Yeah.
it was a
That's
guess.
your English Bible coming in.
Mhm.
Of this month. Take
Take a sheep.
sheep each. No, take each. Probably the idea is each of you take a sheep.
Each of you take a sheep
Okay. Remember, kata is according.
according to his house.
Whose house?
Your
Patreon.
father's house.
According to his father's house. Okay.
Yep.
And then
Uh,
that's the each every all again, right?
Yep.
Each sheep
Sheep
according to his house.
Each according to his house.
Okay. So what this shows is that you had the idea that you would buy one animal
Mm-hmm.
to represent one house,
Yep.
right?
Unless
And
you're
then
too
the
poor.
people in the house would. So the father, you see the idea of representation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the animal substituted not just for an individual, but for every one of the people within the house.
Right, because God knew that they couldn't afford stinking all those sheep.
Well, it goes back to because he hasn't talked about putting the blood on the door or any of that yet.
Not yet, no.
But we know that whoever puts the blood on the door, they're going to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's my position they were already believers at this time, because early on in Exodus 4, they fell down and worshipped and all of that stuff. I talked about that in 2 videos back. But, okay, so you did good, Josh. And pretty colorful. You know, I hope everybody can see that or at least get an idea. Janet would say, because whenever I did it, the PowerPoint, when I was, at home or whatever, she's like, I can see the screen much better, and I know that. We're working on that, Janet. And others out there. And we're thankful for the feedback. We're thankful for the criticism. We're thankful for the support. Application purposes, Josh.
Out of just that?
Out of just that.
Out of just that.
Yes. So you basically have God, the Lord is saying to Moses in Egypt, right?
Yeah, well,
At the beginning of the month, and so you have the idea of putting something first,
Yep.
right? Of first importance, okay? And he's telling them what the congregation should do.
Yep.
So this is a congregational thing, but yet, while they're meeting in a congregation, they're in a house as well,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So you see different levels of worship there. Like right now, we're small groups.
Yep.
But we're fixing to go into congregational worship right
Correct.
now. All right? And so each one of us has a responsibility in this, right?
Yes.
And yet, there'll be times, what happens whenever someone becomes a member of the church? A Sunday school leader will go up and pray with them, right?
Correct. Or stand with them.
The representative idea. So we even got kind of a Patreon type thing going on here.
Father of the house, yeah.
So basically what you see in this is that everyone accepts responsibility in worship.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not saying this is the main point of the passage, but from what we got there, that's that. So we have the responsibility to worship God in various ways, what we're fixing to do.
Right.
We prayed that this would be a spiritual act and not just academic.
Absolutely.
So that ties with that. And thank you so much for tying in everything about seminary and your life. Because some people think we're just, in ivory towers, and not dealing with real life and all that type of stuff. And so it really helps. So, all right, Josh, will you close us?
Well, dear followers, we come before you. We just so thankful, Father, that we can come into together. We know that the church is not a building; it is the people are the church. But Father, when we gather together in one place, we just corporately worship before you. We just thank you for making that not necessarily a commandment, but just a way of our lives. We learn from Hebrews, Father. Just don't forsake it. And Father, I just pray that we understand that we're not worshiping ourselves. We're not here for edification of ourselves. But Father God, we're here to bow before you as a creator, because we love you and we're thankful for what you've done on the cross, and even from the beginning of time. You could have wiped Adam and Eve off the face of the earth and started all over, but you didn't, and we're thankful for that. Father God, I just ask that you be with Pastor Mark. I just pray, though, that he just be your mouthpiece, that it's not his words, but your words. It's not his thoughts, but your thoughts, Father God, that come out to us, that we may hear, and not only hear it, but we may believe, receive it, not only receive it, but believe it, and apply it to our lives. And it's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all very much. Be sure to subscribe and share this video, and give me any feedback you can. God bless.